with the latest on the situation between the Bruins and Swayman. And this has me feeling a lot better that there's a chance at resolution, hearing this. Because if what he is saying is true, we'll get back to the first part, but the second part to me is the most important, which is he's looking for 8 times 8.5. If that's true, then they should be able to find a path to getting a deal done. That is not asking for 9 or 9.5 or 10 or 11 or any of those crazy numbers. 8 and 8.5, that's a doable number. That's a doable contract. And we have thrown out all of those numbers that he did in there. And by the way, Cam nearly fudged it a little bit, according to Seravalli. His understanding is the offer is $7.8 million a year times 8 years. So it's really, Cam should have been saying 62.4 million reasons why I'd be playing right now. So he's playing a little loose with it. They're in that ballpark. But the Bruins should not be patting themselves on the back for being at $7.8 million because they decided to start at 6. Just because you throw out the low number and you meet in the middle doesn't mean it's a good offer or the appropriate offer. 7.8 is a respectable offer. It is. That's a respectable number. If I were Jeremy Swayman, I'd want to be 8 or north of that, and so I don't blame him for this. But if his ask is a very reasonable 8.5, it's a lot of money. It's a big dollar figure and a lot of years for a goalie. But it's not obscene. It's not $10 million a year, and it's not resetting the market. That's not what that is. In fact, I would just say to the Bruins, just get it done. Cut it in half again then.
Yes.
Say you're at 8.25. Does that get it done? Would he say yes to that?
I think you would have to.
I mean, at that point, you're talking an extra $450,000 a year from your current contract offer.
Yes.
Doesn't seem like a significant amount of money.
It isn't a lot of money.
Certainly something you should be able to bridge.
He clearly wants to be north of 8, and they won't go to 8, while they're out there saying they're at 8.
I'm also with you in terms of the team saying, look how much we've moved off of our original. If you throw out a ridiculously low offer and then come up from that original, you weren't serious with that initial offer.
$6 million? He wasn't taking $6 million a year.
You don't get credit for that. Yeah.
Don't be a bunch of clowns with that. What are you doing? Why do they do that?
I don't know.
The go low, go high thing. I don't understand. We all do it. It happens in a lot of negotiations. What's the point of that?
Got to start somewhere. They eventually meet in the middle.
6? You're going to start at 6? Come on.
So, I'm trying to remember. How pissed was he about the arbitration stuff?
Not happy.
What was his number a year ago? So he was in there around, 5 or 4?
I don't know. What does that matter?
I don't. I'm trying to think. Okay, so what do you play at? What do you value the player at per year? That's I'm trying to look at it. What should the player be per year? No, not trying to forecast it 6 years from now. Is he a $5 million a year player? Or is he an $8 million a year player? It's what I'm asking. So as a team, then you start negotiating. Yeah, let's start around 6.
His contract last year was $3.475.
You've already doubled it.
Yeah, but I don't think it's really relevant.
I know.
Man, if those numbers are what they are reportedly right now between those two sides, that was an overreaction by Cam Neely yesterday. You just threw gasoline on that fire for no reason. If you're that close in terms of numbers right now, 7.8 and 8.5, that feels like a bridge you should be able to close the gap with, and to just unnecessarily kind of take those shots and again piss off Jeremy Swayman, who we know takes this stuff personally. Just probably not a smart decision.
Unless you said, don't call us back. If you really want over 10, don't call us back. We're at 64. We're not going higher.
You're $5.6 million apart over the life of the deal. So over 8 years, that's $5.6 million over 8 years is what you're haggling over?
Yeah.
Again, go to 8.25 and see if that gets the deal done. Let's do that. Right, Don Sweeney, pick up the phone, see if he'll take 8.25, and let's call it a day.
Yeah.
See if that extra $250K more than what you publicly stated as a team you'd offered him yesterday gets it done. Let's see if you can do that. And now you know why the agent did not say in that statement that they'd accept that offer, because they were not accepting 8 times 8.
Yeah.
They were not taking 8 times 8. They want 8.5.
Right.
They want 8.5. The team is at 7.8. That feels like a bridge. That feels like a gap that absolutely can be bridged, doesn't it?
Yeah. No, it does.
It has me feeling better that there's a path to a deal. So I think that report makes Swayman look better because Cam fudged the numbers, which we told you earlier he might have been doing on a technicality. It may have been 7.9 or 7.8. Nailed it, so. Nailed it.
We did.
Nailed that.
Yep.
So it's not technically 64, which is why the semantics of the statement are true. They were in that ballpark. But 8.5. That's okay. Would you do 8.5 for Jeremy Swayman?
Yes.
Yep.
I'm not doing 10. 8.5, yeah. 8.2. 8.25.
8.25 versus
8.25.
7.8 is absolutely
That's it.
manageable. The way I would look at it is like if you sign that contract and he's a good goalie, awesome, you're happy with the contract. And if he's not good and it's a bust and he doesn't wind up being how is that any different than $7.8 million a year, right? It's still going to be an albatross. It doesn't matter. There's really not that big of a difference in terms of that contract.
Right. What is that really representing on your roster that you're not going to have with that amount of money?
There's really no
and then the caps are going to go
change.
up in the next few years. Like, come on, just do it. Get it over with. Now I want to be mad at everybody. Now I'm mad at everybody for the way they're handling it. Get this thing done. Frank Seravalli, TSN, with some reporting. Yeah, I felt like that was going to happen. Once yesterday happened, and once the statement last night happened, you knew there would be more chatter. So your thoughts on that, now that we have a number. Bruins, according to Frank Seravalli, TSN, 8 times $7.8 million a year. Swayman wants 8 times $8.5 million a year. $700,000 a year, a difference of $5.6 million over the life of the deal. Maybe they should try splitting the $5.5 million in half. Try and meet in the middle again. Something. Please.